Just astounding.
It's only the beginning.
Oh, my. There's plenty more this afternoon. The Civil War will continue all day today with, you'll have an hour off for good behavior about 7 o'clock. We'll go to regular programming and then resume tonight. The series continues in marathon all afternoon until 7 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock it continues, and then again tomorrow afternoon. One of those series that's been called one of the defining series of public television, one of the most watched ever, and deservedly so. By the way, the words that we just heard from Abraham Lincoln will be heard again in a magnificent new program on Abraham Lincoln and his sayings and writings. That's this Wednesday night at 9:30. You won't want to miss that either. My name is Paul Hartman. If you can't get your own name right, you're in real trouble at the first of the afternoon. Along with Cynthia Jackman here in the studios of Channel 17, ready to take your pledge of support. It's critically important that we enlist not just 300 pledges of new support, but 400. Now, we would have needed 300 back before we knew about the new state budget cuts that I'll mention in just a moment. But now that goal is 400 this afternoon. We'll need to take another such set tonight. But this afternoon's goal is 400 pledges of support. We want to take 50 of those in the next couple of minutes, get back to part 2 of part 1, and then you'll, did you follow that? Part B of part 1, maybe that's clearer, of the first hour. But we need 50 calls of support. There is one pledger on the line at the moment. That means we're 49 calls away. Do the right thing this afternoon. If you know that you're not presently a member of Channel 17, if you know how good the Civil War is, go to your telephone now. In Buffalo, that number is the top number. And the second number is toll-free, region-wide. If you're watching Channel 17 anywhere away from Buffalo, use that number. Call on our nickel and say, I want to be a member. I want to watch the rest of the marathon, the rest of the Civil War series as a member of Channel 17. That's the only way you can enjoy Channel 17 more, is to be a member and watch it. We have all 9 of the videotapes, that's more than 9 hours, as you know, of videotape available for you. We have been able to renegotiate the price since the beginning. So we are now able, listen carefully, to offer you this set of 9 videotapes, not audio tapes, but videotapes of the Civil War series, without pledge breaks in them, professionally duplicated, the series of 9 videotapes at the $300 gift level. That has never happened before.
Unbelievable.
As far as I know, for any series, let alone probably the most watched of public television series ever, short mini-series ever, at the $300 gift level. So if you can afford a $25 per month gift from now until next year at this time, you can have this for your very own library. Better idea would be to put it on Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card, and in addition to your $300 gift bringing you these video cassettes, if that's your choice from that long list of thank you gifts, you'd also, for charging this afternoon, you'll receive both our standard during this drive thank you gift of the watch for charging, but also, notice, we have this brochure, it's a pamphlet, a booklet on the Civil War series, so you'll be able to go through that and follow along and see the series titles, the individual titles, and the characters, and some background on Ken Burns, the incredible producer of the Civil War. Both of those are coming to pledgers of all stripes who make gifts this afternoon and put them on Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card. So whatever you do, if you've got a charge card, to pledge this afternoon, take it to the telephone, dial 881-4800 in Buffalo, or 1-800-727-1017. One last item, let me show you that not only do we have the 9 video cassettes, we also have the 3, it's a major opus, as you might say, the 3-volume set on the Civil War by one of the absolute premier, there are a couple of premier historians of the Civil War, so we can't call Shelby Foote the only one, But Shelby Foote is the very distinguished and thoughtful and bright historian who is featured throughout the Civil War series. We have all 3 of his volumes in a boxed set at the $300 gift level. And the final item I want to tell you about is if you can afford a $300 gift, you might be able to extend that not to $600, as you might think, to take away all 9 video cassettes and all 3 books for $300 and $300, but $500. Just $500 gift to Channel 17 this afternoon, which will go so far in helping us overcome budget problems imposed by the state of New York and other factors. It will help us so much. You'll also have 9 videotapes and 3 volumes here. Put it on your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card. You also have the pamphlet and the sports watch from Channel 17. Please do the right thing. Whether your gift level is $300 or $500, it doesn't matter if that doesn't fit you. If you have $35 or $60, $90, or $120, those are the most frequently pledged amounts here at Channel 17. At any level, you make up your own level if you'd like to. At any level, say yes to public television as we celebrate the Civil War series again this afternoon. Please go to your telephone, 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Please do that right now, Paul. We've taken about 10 calls, so that means we're off to a start of some kind, but we really need to move things along much more quickly. We need to meet that goal of 50 in every opportunity this afternoon to begin working on a $2,000 challenge that's been set forth for the Civil War today by our current members, and they have put extra dollars into that challenge fund to make sure that absolutely everybody could be encouraged to become a part of the membership family here at Channel 17. So in order to meet that goal, we need some help from you, and you can be responsible with your pledge, whether it's $500 or $45 or anywhere in between. You can be responsible for Channel 17 earning an extra $2,000. This is, as Paul said, a signature program here for us in public television, something we're awfully proud of. Ken Burns has got to be one of the most talented people working in this medium that we've ever seen. And isn't it wonderful that he's been available to public television, that we've been able to give him a creative atmosphere and make sure the dollars are there to put his creative energies and talents to work, and he attracts the most talented people to work with him, and he puts together a beautiful, beautiful, absolutely stunning piece of work. I wouldn't even call it a television program or even a film. It's something more than that. In response to us being able to provide that kind of absolutely extraordinary experience for you, will you go to the telephone this afternoon and make a membership pledge so that we can make more moments like this possible? Who knows? The next person the next Ken Burns or the next Ken Burns project that comes along, we want to make sure that it's right here on Channel 17. We've taken 13 calls. We're 37 away. Quickly, I want to show you the companion book to the Civil War series that you're watching right now. Maybe this would be your choice of a thank you gift. It is a beautiful, beautiful hardcover book. It's available at the $240 level or $20 a month, but it's absolutely well worth the pledge in that level because you can page through here, read all about the making of the program in addition to the mountains of history and historical research that went on to put this program together. A gorgeous book that's available for a pledge at the $240 level or $20 a month. You could pay it monthly or you could choose to charge it and take those extra thank yous away too. We do want to give you a nice look at our volunteers. They're here this afternoon to help you become a member of Channel 17. Not all of them are busy. They're here from the Hamburg Youth Engaged in Service Group, the West Seneca Youth Engaged in Service, the Maryvale Spanish Club, and the West Seneca East Government class. And thank you very much. Look at all those bright, shining faces here this afternoon to take your membership pledge. These, I'm sure, are young people who have benefited in their lives at some point from public television, and they're here to give something back today to make sure that we can protect this resource for everyone who uses it in Western New York and Southern Ontario. So let's get them busy. Let's meet the first part of this goal this afternoon before we return you to the Civil War so that we can have an opportunity to earn that $2,000 challenge. I want to show you one more thank you gift. This is brand new to our list, and we went to an awful lot of trouble to find it for you. It's a wonderful, wonderful videotape at the $120 level or $10 a month. And it's called Touring Civil War Battlefields, and it's absolutely beautiful. It says here, see the actual battlefields as they were and as they are today. And it's a beautiful tour of those battlefields in historic reproductions, in photographs, and also in brand new videotape. And that could be your choice at just the $120 level or $10 a month. We've got lots and lots of terrific thank you gifts for you. As Paul showed you, that the deal on the videotapes and the books, the Shelby Foote books, is really incredible. This might be your choice, or it might be something else on the list. We'll send that list to you in the mail once you've had an opportunity to connect with us today, to make your membership pledge. Send us your name and tell us your name and address on the telephone so we can send you the membership information and very warmly welcome you into the membership family. Please do that right now at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Cynthia, I'm scared with just a few minutes now, just a couple of minutes before 3 minutes before we go back to the program, to Part B of the opening episode, the first hour of the Civil War, major Civil War series. We have 13 of the 50 calls that we need in. This could be a very serious situation, except that now I'm starting to see a couple of phones going, and believe me, unless public television has a very responsive audience as well as appreciative audience, we will not be able to bring to you in this region the next Civil War series. These are costly series, as you can imagine. And for us to buy them and get them on the air to you, it takes a responsive audience, an audience who understands the critical part you play in being a TV producer, a TV director. Unless you play your part, the upfront funding of such programs, you know how good the Civil War is, or you're about to find it out. Unless you take action now, after this drive is over, we won't be here next Saturday, we won't be here next Sunday, we won't even be here next Friday. The drive is in its final hours unless our audience comes through for us as we ask, and unless we're able to amass the funds necessary to buy and air these programs. We could be in a downward spiral that you don't want, and we don't either. Please go to your telephone right now. We're now 16 calls. Thank you to the 3 additional who've just come in, but we're still 34 calls away. Good math there. 16 calls in with 36 to go. This is my friend, so. Listen, every pledger this afternoon, not just charged pledgers, but every pledger this afternoon will receive a copy of this letter. And let me just read a couple of lines. You're about to hear this. It comes at the end of Part 1, and we'll be hearing it and seeing it during this next portion of the program. It's dated July 14th, 1861. It says, my very dear Sarah, the indications are very strong that we shall move in a few days, perhaps tomorrow. Lest I should not be able to write again, I feel impelled to write a few lines that may fall under your eyes when I shall be no more. That's a letter from Major Sullivan Ballou to his wife 7 days before the Battle of Bull Run, where he was killed. And we have a copy of that we're sending to each and every pledger. It may not mean as much to you at this moment as it will after you've heard it at the end of this particular segment. I believe what I need to do is watch the next part of the program. Even though we're 32 pledges shy of where we should be, we'll take care of that goal in another time. Please don't let the goals pile up, because then we'll be in real deep weeds later today. I know you're going to care about the series, care about public television that brings them to you and your family, your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors. But we need to come together with gifts, pledges, in order to make the series possible. 881-4800 is the number in Buffalo, 1-800-727-1017. Please call. Also, please enjoy, but as a member. Thanks.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17, Buffalo, serving western New York and southern Ontario.
And we'll be right back to more of Part 1, actually, in just a couple of moments. I'm Cynthia Jackman here with Paul Hartman in the membership studio with you, and we've seen it before, but we're enjoying it all over again. There's so much detail, so much information, really such a lot of emotional content to this presentation, something we're awfully proud to be presenting for you today in a marathon version. It'll begin all throughout this afternoon, moving into the evening and continuing on tomorrow. We are hopeful that if you are moved by the program, you will be moved to go to your telephone this afternoon and make a membership pledge to support the public television station that made this program possible and that's brought it to you now for several occasions. This might be the first opportunity you've had to sit down and actually watch the program from beginning to end. It's a wonderful, emotional journey that you're going to be taken on, and I think it's a real tribute to the creativity of Ken Burns and his team that he was able to make history come alive for us in this very, very important way. Let me show you the number of pledges that we're working on this afternoon. We have a big goal ahead of us, a total of 400 that we're looking for before 7 o'clock tonight. We are fortunate enough to report to you that we took 31 calls on the first opportunity. While that wasn't our goal, it was a good start, and so now we're 369 away from that goal. We should also mention to you right away that there's a $2,000 challenge available to all of us today, to us here and also to you as viewers of Channel 17, if we're able to meet that goal. $2,000 that will be able to be put aside for programs of this kind, absolutely special, spectacular television events that we hope to make possible for you in the future. So your membership pledge does an awful lot this afternoon. It makes you feel terrific because you'll be a brand new member of Channel 17, and it puts your dollars and 2,000 additional dollars to work for exceptional television. This is the kind of thing you don't find everywhere on the television dial. It's unique, and it's different, and that's the reason it's on public television. The way it becomes on here on public television is because of member support, and that's something else that's unique about the way we work. So you do an awful lot when you call this afternoon, and you'll have a terrific feeling knowing you've helped out to the extent you're able. We'll show you thank you gifts from the $45 level all the way up to the $500 level and everywhere in between. So there's some membership level, I hope, that will appeal to you and sound about right for your family, and I hope you'll go to your telephone right now and let us know what that is. We have an absolutely spectacular deal on the videotape collection from this program. We've never been able to offer a complete set of videotapes at this level before, but you see there all the titles. We can turn it around for you so you can actually read them. All 9 parts, more than 9 hours of television, but 9 separate videotapes can be yours together as a collection. A wonderful, wonderful a legacy you can pass on in your family or share with others for a pledge at the $300 level. Now, that's not for every family, we know that, but it might be for yours. You might want to pay it at $25 a month or put it all at once on a credit card. If you've got a MasterCard, a Visa, or American Express that has $300 worth of room on it, I can't think of a better way to spend it, really, than to put those dollars to work for public television and also have this terrific, memorable collection of videotapes available to your family. If you should choose to charge any pledge, not just the $300 pledge, but any pledge today, we'll also send you 2 extra thank you gifts just for doing that, and we'll see them here on the screen in just a moment. The one is our Channel 17 Sport Watch, and we've been offering that all throughout our membership drive. The other one that will come into view shortly is an extra special pamphlet that we can send along to you, the Civil War. And you'll have both of those items that will be available to you for charging any pledge today. A wonderful collection of extra benefits just for charging your membership pledge. 2 calls in and 48 away. We need to make much more quick progress on that goal if we're going to meet it this afternoon. Collect on the $2,000 challenge and have the dollars in hand that we need, the power that you give us with your membership pledge, to go out into the marketplace and make more moments like this possible on Channel 17. I want to show you one other set of thank you gifts before I turn things over to Paul. This is the complete set of Shelby Foote's masterwork on the Civil War, all 3 volumes in a box set. It's just gorgeous, and that is also available at the $300 level. Again, a terrific brand new deal on that one, $25 a month or $300 altogether. Now, I'm going to put the videotapes right on top here and tell you about something else that's even more special. It's going to look like a little pyramid there, or a reverse pyramid. You can have the 9 videotapes and the 3 books, the 3-volume set of Shelby Foote's book together for a membership pledge, not at $600, which is where you'd think it would be, but all together for a $500 pledge. That's a major commitment to public television, not something that every family could do or every individual could do, but it might be something you'd like to consider doing this afternoon. When you think about all the hours and hours of entertainment and enjoyment and education and emotional moments such as these that we're sharing now, that you enjoy with Channel 17 and have for probably a very long time, I think it makes awfully good sense to make a membership pledge in probably the highest amount you can so that we can continue to do a good job for you. The numbers are there on your screen. I'm going to turn things over to Paul. We've not taken nearly the number of calls we need to. We're looking for a goal of 50. We've taken 5. We're 45 calls away and not too much time left before we go on to the program. Please give us a call right now and make your membership pledge at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
That's the number, Cynthia, and perhaps are we able to show the Sullivan Ballou? You showed that, did you?
Nope.
We need to show this. Let me remind all pledgers, we'll do a little production right on the air here. We need to remind all pledgers this afternoon, all pledgers will receive a copy of the Sullivan Ballou letter. It is a calligraphied copy here, and you'll see that in a moment. It is a very moving document, and we will hear that at the end of part one. It's dated July 14th, 1861. It is from Major Sullivan Ballou to his wife Sarah, 7 days before he was killed at the First Battle of Bull Run. You will be hearing that at the end of part one, which is in the coming hour. So that goes to all pledgers. And remember, as Cynthia has told you, for all pledgers who charge their gifts this afternoon, we have both the Channel 17 Sport Watch and the booklet, the pamphlet on Channel 17's presentation of the Civil War. So if you'll charge your pledge this afternoon, you receive 3 special gifts before we even start to talk about a thank you gift at your upper level. If you join us at the $60 level or $45 level, $90, $120 levels, all of those have very special thank you gifts, and we'll send you that full list. We need to show you why your participation this afternoon is so critically important, and that is shown here on our graph that shows state funding support over the last 3 years. If you will, notice that on the left, our chart shows our revenue budget 3 years ago. On the right, this is our revenue budget for the coming fiscal year if the state of New York enacts its 3rd year of budget cuts for public broadcasting as proposed. Look where the major change has been in state funding. That's the red item at the top of each chart. 3 years ago, $3,406,000 was given from the state of New York to public broadcasting in this region. Our organization received that amount to support the public, non-commercial, educational, non-profit broadcast service that you're seeing on Channel 17, for instance, this afternoon. $3,406,000. Almost $1,800,000 less than that is the amount that we'll receive next year if this 3rd year of budget cuts is enacted. Look at the very large difference right there. And down below, we see the solution. 3 years ago, contributions from members, from viewers, totaled $6,354,000. Can you imagine that your $60 or $90 or $120, maybe your $35 one-time gift, maybe $25 from you, maybe $25 a month, whatever the level, can you imagine that yours went together with people all over our region, all over southern Ontario and western New York, and came together for a total of almost $6.5 million. Next year, with regular growth, it would be $6,700,000 and change. Well, $26,000 is more than change there, isn't it? But guess what? Let me show you this way. The solution to the problem is this. If the state of New York has to reduce its funding for critically important public broadcasting services, like you and your children and your grandchildren perhaps, your neighbors, and all of us use on afternoons like this with excellence, like the Civil War, if the state of New York has to reduce its support of that kind of activity like this, then you and I, friend, as viewers, must increase our support that way. Otherwise, there will be a severe loss in quality and quantity of programs. You don't want that to happen, and we don't. So don't make the mistake of thinking that your small gift, I bet you're tempted to say, my small gift can't make any difference. It's not true, because your gift goes together with so many others, and your gift also triggers matching gifts and grants, and this afternoon, your gift will bring us closer and closer to a $2,000 challenge today from our present members, if we can reach the 400 level mark this afternoon and then meet tonight's goal as well. Now 16 calls are in with 34 to go. Please make your call. If you never understood before why your support is so critically important, now I hope you do. And I hope you'll take action at whatever dollar level you want. Charge your pledge if you can to get those 2 extra gifts, and if you'll, and all pledgers, I should say, are receiving the Sullivan Ballou letter. Remember that we have the American Heritage Picture History of the Civil War at the $150 gift level. This the narrative is by Bruce Catton of one of the other major Civil War historians, of course. And we just saw this picture in the Civil War, and we will see so many more of this. This is a record book, of course, of the Civil War, one of the most extensive, and so it will remind you of our Civil War series, and what a terrific volume this would be. If you're just sort of searching around and wondering what you'd like to get interested in, maybe the Civil War is exactly it. Maybe you want to start to become a little expert on your own on the Civil War, and this would be a great way to do it. That's the $150 level. Join us at the $120 level. We have touring Civil War battlefields. That's about an hour's worth of video cassette, I think. I'll check that amount of time. And that's available at the $120 level. Or perhaps you'd like Bruce Catton's three-volume set, Mr. Lincoln's Army, Glory Road, and A Stillness at Appomattox. These three softcover books in a boxed set are available at the $180 gift level, or just $15 a month if you'd like to pay by installments. Please go to your telephone this afternoon. Help us. We need you. 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
I quickly want to show you two more of the thank you gifts that we have. You know, when Rick and Ken Burns first began this series, and they said they were going to make it out of the only record that's available, which in many cases is still photographs, I think a lot of people said, well, how are you going to make something emotional and engaging with that? And one of the ways they did it was with the beautiful, haunting music of the Civil War series, and we have that for you on either a compact disc or an audio cassette, and these are at very special pledge levels. We're not often able to offer you a compact disc for a $60 membership pledge, but in this case you can. Have the compact disc version for a $5 per month pledge, or, unbelievably, the audio cassette version for a $45 gift. Imagine that. Put that $45 or $60 pledge on your credit card right now, and you'll receive either one of these, plus 3 other thank you gifts that we'll send you. We showed you the watch and the Guide to Civil War Battlefields, and also the Sullivan Ballou letter. So that's just an incredible, incredible value for you. 17 calls in and 33 away right now. We can do it this afternoon. I really feel it as though we can. We certainly have enough volunteers here in the membership studio to take care of those pledges. A really wonderful collection of great, great young people who are here this afternoon to help you become a member. Our Hamburg YES group and the West Seneca YES group, Maryvale Spanish Club, and the West Seneca East Government class. And most of these are people who come here on a regular basis. On every membership drive, they help us out routinely. And they're wonderful, fresh-faced young people, and they'd love to take your membership pledge. So please get to the telephone. Let's get all of them busy and go way beyond that goal of 50 right now. If a program like the Civil War is not worth a membership pledge from you, I can't imagine what program would be. This is really an outstanding television event, something that every single member of public television can be proud to be a part of, because if you're already a member, you've helped us to provide the Civil War today. But if you're not a member, I hope you'll take away the very good feeling that comes with membership when you go to your telephone right now and make that pledge. We've got 18 calls in and we're 32 away, but last time we did take some calls after the program began again, so we're going to have to hope and trust that that happens again right now. We'll leave the telephone number there for just a little, half a second or half a minute, and we'll hope that you're on your way to the telephone to make a membership pledge. We need you this afternoon as never before. Please do it now at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17 Buffalo, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario.
Absolutely incredible. There's a good reason why the press and the ratings and the letters and calls that we got the first time the Civil War came around were just unbelievably strong. Hi, Paul Hartman with Cynthia Jackman, watching, glued to our sets this afternoon with you, figuratively only, of course. Not literally glued. We're enjoying the Civil War and finding it as fascinating as the first time around. If this is your first time, welcome to public television's one of our crown jewels in the last few years. If it's not your first time, if you've seen it before, you know exactly how good this is, and that it gets better as time goes on. We're in marathon with the Civil War this afternoon. We'll be here until 7 o'clock, going to give you 1 hour off for good behavior, and then we'll come back tonight from 8 o'clock on with more of the Civil War, and then back tomorrow afternoon to finish it. There's also a very special Abraham Lincoln, his sayings and writings program next Wednesday night at 9:30 that I know you'll be very interested in. Did you know that you would be able to have all of that information in your hands at the first of every single month if you were a member of our station? If you were not only a viewer of public television, but one of the family of members who make it possible? I know that's important to you, for us to have good programming, really excellent fare on your television screen on a Saturday afternoon like this, and probably throughout the week. I know that you understand we have no commercials, that we spend less than 2% of our airtime during the year raising money to get these programs on the air. Without your financial support, these programs are in jeopardy. We can't buy new programs, let alone the transmission costs to run the transmitter, unless our viewers respond at moments like this. Please do the right thing this afternoon. Don't think your gift is too small. Certainly don't think your gift is too large. Go to your telephone and become a new member so we can send you that monthly program guide. We need at least 50 calls of support this afternoon. We are down to needing just 337 calls this afternoon as we make that first step toward a $2,000 challenge, which we will make or not make by the end of the evening tonight. We have to make these 400 pledges. We're off to a pretty good start, but it really needs to pick up at this point if we're to have a real shot at that tonight. You can do a heck of a lot if you'll dial 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017. A very brief reminder, we have all 9 video cassettes, some of them more than 1 hour. It's not just a 9-hour. I think we're at about 11-hour series. I'll look that up and let you know next time. But it's more than 9 hours of the Civil War, all 9 video cassettes available to you at the $300 gift level. Can you imagine that? 9 video cassettes, professionally duplicated, no Paul, no Cynthia, no pledge breaks inside. All 9 of these, more than 9 hours, for a pledge gift of $300. Put it on your charge card, and we've got additional incentives we'll talk to you about. Please go to the telephone now. Dial 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
We've taken a couple of calls, Paul, but we're still waiting for yours. If you're waiting for just the right time to make your membership pledge, I can tell you, if you've already carved out this afternoon and this evening for your enjoyment of this program, and you've said, maybe you've got a spouse or a family member or some friends that you called to tell them it would be on, and you're going to sit there and watch the whole thing. Don't wait until the very end to make your membership pledge. I know that that is something that's a natural human reaction when you can sense that we're working on a goal and we're that many pledges away from the goal. A lot of people will say to themselves, well, I'll call at the very end when it's really exciting, when they really need me, and I'll be one of the heroes to come in at the end. We're going to encourage you to resist that temptation right now and to instead make your membership right now, right up front. Make that pledge call so that we can make good, steady progress on this goal, because we don't want to be left with 200 pledges or something to get in the final opportunity this afternoon or as we come close to that 7 o'clock hour. It's much easier if we can work along all throughout the afternoon and take those pledge calls 1 and 2 and 3 at a time, yours being one of them, and meet every single one of our individual goals so that by the end we'll be very close to the $2,000 challenge, and then you can let somebody else worry about calling and making their membership pledge then. But take care of yours right now, please, by calling one of the numbers on your screen. I want to show you the companion book to the series, and I'm going to read a little something to you from there. 7 calls in now and 43 away. This is a beautiful hardcover book, actually quite a thick book, and it's filled with all of the beautiful photographs and artistic representations of the Civil War that you've seen. I'm going to open it up here, hopefully continuing to show you the cover, and just read a little snippet of what says in here by Rick and Ken Burns. This book was born and raised in the midst of the making of a 10-hour documentary film series, there you go, Paul, 10 hours, on the Civil War, produced for public television between 1985 and 1990. The series took us some 5 years, only a little longer than the war itself lasted, to put together. And we have hoped in this book, as in our film, we wanted to show, we wanted to hear what Lincoln sounded like. We wanted to see an aerial reconnaissance balloon and a soldier having his hair cut, what Chambersburg, Pennsylvania looked like after the Confederates burned it to the ground, how men drilled, ate, fought, suffered, and died. And that's what they put together in this book for you, just as they have in the video series. Maybe you already have some tapes of the Civil War, but you'd like to have the companion book. That could be yours for a pledge at the $240 level or $20 a month. I'd like to also show you something very special that's being offered to everyone who pledges today. That's right. Whether it's on a credit card, whether it's a $45 gift or a $500 gift, or anywhere in between, or any pledge, actually, will receive your very own, very nicely duplicated copy of a letter that has become really part of Civil War lore now. It's called the Sullivan Ballou letter. It was written by Major Sullivan Ballou to his wife, Sarah, 7 days before he was killed at the First Battle of Bull Run. And you'll hear it read by Hector Paul Roebling at the end of the opening episode this afternoon, but you can have your very own copy. It's very, very moving. This is how it ends. But oh, Sarah, if the dead can come back to this earth and flit unseen around those they loved, I shall always be near you in the gladdest days and in the darkest nights, always, always. And if there be a soft breeze upon your cheek, it shall be my breath. As the cool air fans your throbbing temple, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone, and wait for thee, for we shall meet again. And it's just beautiful, and it goes. That's just the end, and the beginning and the middle are just as equally as moving. A wonderful remembrance of the day you became a member of Channel 17, something you can pass along as a little bit of history to a child or a grandchild or something you'll just treasure, remembering that you made a significant and important financial investment in the television service that is bringing you this extraordinary unfolding of history this afternoon. Please get to your telephone right now and make that membership pledge with just a few minutes in this opportunity to go. Paul's going to give me an update here, and I think, are 9 calls in and 41 away. But there's room for your telephone pledge on the phone bank right now. We do need to hear from you. Please call us now, 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
41 calls away from goal. Now, we have not quite made goal on each of the first 2 membership opportunities this afternoon. If we fall substantially shy now, $2,000 at the end of the evening tonight could be at risk. You don't want that to happen. You may not be able to stay with us all afternoon, and so I'm encouraging you to make your pledge now. For the biggest reason is so that you can watch the entire series as a member of Channel 17. Very quick story. Several years ago, I joined a writers group. The rules of that group were you could come each month. They met once a month. You could come each month for 3 months, but you could not participate. You had to sit on the outskirts of the group, on the perimeter of that room, and listen to the discussions of what each of the authors had written. And that was really nice for a while, but it was frustrating by the end. By 3 months in, you wanted to get in and mix it up intellectually with those people and share your thoughts and hear theirs and ask questions and make comments. And that's what when you finally joined the writers group, it was wonderful to be part of the group and fully participating. Why do I tell you that story right now? Because public television's the same way. If you're not presently a member, you're on the outskirts, you're on the periphery. You're not participating fully. Please go to your telephone now. You'll enjoy public television even more. If it's possible to enjoy it more, you can as a member only. Please go to the telephone, dial 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017. If you'll take your charge card to the telephone, remember that we're sending all charged pledgers this afternoon 2 things. One, we're sending the Channel 17 watch, Watch 17. It shows the time. Touch the button on the right. It also shows the date, and then touch it again, shows the seconds, back around to the time. That's a sporty, casual watch, but this afternoon only, we're also sending to you this brochure from the National Parks Service on the Civil War battlefield sites. So you'll have that in addition to the watch and the Sullivan Ballou letter, which we're sending to all pledgers. It's a great idea to charge your pledges. Please go to your telephone now. Dial 881-4800, 1-800-727-1017. We'll go to Cynthia in just 1 minute. Let me remind you, if you're joining us at the $300 level, there are lots of items on that list we'll be sending you, but 2 of them you'll want to pay special attention to. One is the 9-part series, all 10 hours, on video cassette, VHS cassette, of the Civil War that we're watching this afternoon. Can you imagine you're having 10 hours on VHS cassette of one of the most incredible series ever produced for a gift of $300? It's true. This afternoon, it's true. The other option at the $300 level is Shelby Foote's 3-volume set on the Civil War. Guess what? If you want both of those, you don't have to pay make a $300 contribution for that one and a $300 contribution for that one. Take the whole package at the $500 gift level. If you put it on one of your charge cards, of course, you'll be taking away those additional gifts as well. Well, I've taken too much time. 14 calls in with 36 to go. We're going to have to trust that those 36, it happens each time. A few pledges come in after we go back to the program. It'd be wonderful if we'd get them all in and then go back to the program. But it happens your way. You can do it your way. Please go to the telephone. Don't let public television down this afternoon, so we don't let you down in the future. Your gift in any amount, whether it's $300 or $500 or a one-time gift of $25 or $35, doesn't matter how much. I hope you can make it $35 or more so we can send you the monthly program guide. That's the cutoff there. But please, go to the telephone this afternoon, 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017. We'll come back and tell you how we're doing. Thanks.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17, Buffalo, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario.
And you're looking at the text of that beautiful letter that you just heard read in the Civil War, the Sullivan Ballou letter. This is something that we have to offer you as a keepsake this afternoon for your membership in Channel 17, a beautiful reproduction and very beautiful old-style handwriting of the Sullivan Ballou letter. And that comes to everyone who makes a membership pledge today in support of this absolutely astounding television event that we are all sharing together. Very, very moving moments. I'm Cynthia Jackman. Paul Hartman is with me, and we're very, very pleased and proud to be presenting this program for you this afternoon, and not ashamed at all to be asking for your membership support, because it's only through member support that we've even been able to come this far, that we're here today enjoying this program again. One of the most important things that Ken Burns was able to do with this program, I think, was to put a human face and a human voice on the events of the Civil War, and that's what you've just seen. All of the enormity of the conflict boiled down to just one man's last letter to his wife. And if that doesn't give you chills, I don't know what will. We're looking for your membership pledge this afternoon, and we're hoping that you have been moved to the point where you will now move to your telephone and say, yes, this is great television. I want you to see more of it on Channel 17. Here's my membership pledge. If you are so moved, you'll be one of 50 people we need to hear from in this opportunity. Here's where we stand. We began the afternoon looking for a total of 400 new members. Reaching that goal will earn us a $2,000 challenge from our Member Challenge Fund. So far, 88 great people have called and made membership pledges, leaving us 312 away from that goal, but we need to work along at it much more quickly, friends. This is a time when you might need to sort of take a breath and get your things together, get yourself together before you go to the telephone, because it was an awfully moving moment. But we hope that you'll take those emotions and turn them right around in a very positive direction and make your membership pledge to Channel 17 right now. We've got to take at least 50 of those calls in the next very few minutes if we're going to continue working on that goal and earn the $2,000 challenge on your behalf. Before I throw things to Paul, I want to quickly show you the two absolutely extraordinary thank you gift opportunities for you at the $300 level. It might not be for everyone, but if you're enjoying this program as much as I know you are, you might be interested in knowing how you can have the complete collection on videotape. The way you do that, and you see all those tapes stacked up there, this is the complete 10-hour series for you at the incredible pledge level of $300 or $25 a month. That is an opportunity for you today, and we don't know how long we'll be able to keep that going, but at least for today and tomorrow we know that a $300 pledge will bring you the Civil War on videotape if that's your choice. Next to it is the 3-volume set of Shelby Foote's books, his masterwork on the Civil War, which was many, many years in the making. I think 10 or 12 years took him to write that series of books. That is another choice at the $300 level. If you put both of them together, something extraordinary happens there too. You can have all the tapes and the books together for a membership pledge at the $500 level. Again, a stretch for some people, but you might be so moved to make a $500 gift today, and if you are, you'd have a wonderful collection of videotapes and books to take away as our thank you gift to you. 10 calls are in now. We're 40 away. I'm turning things over to Paul. Please make your membership pledge today. You will never regret it. You'll just enjoy the program that much more as a member at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
If by chance you've just gotten an answering machine, please leave your name, your telephone number, including area code, and let us get right back to you after the break. We're a little shy of volunteers this afternoon, but we'll get back to you right quick. And bear in mind that as if we're able to take your phone number and name on the answering machine, that can make this break all that much shorter. These folks are from Amherst, Youth Engaged in Service, and the West Seneca East government class. They're terrific young folks who have come out for public television this afternoon. They'll take 1 minute out of your life and lead you through the very simple process of becoming a member, a friend of Channel 17. Thank you if you've already gone to your telephone. If you've not, don't wait a minute longer. Say yes to public television so that we can continue to serve your needs and interests for great historical drama or documentary. If you had said to me 3 years ago, got a brand new series, it's all still photographs. It's 10 hours long. It's all still photographs. There are no moving pictures of what we want to document, so it's all still. I'd have said, nobody will watch. You agree. The Civil War is magnificent. Ken Burns and company have done a wonderful job. Will you support that effort? This is the way you can stand up and say bravo. Will you say yes? Say yes with your contribution. The most frequently pledged amounts are $60 or $90 or $120. If you can afford more, that's wonderful. If you can afford less, that's wonderful. Don't worry about the amount. Just step forward. Say, I have a few dollars for public television. Your gift in any amount helps us toward that $2,000 challenge. Every pledge counts as a single item as we move toward those 400 pledges we need this afternoon. Please say yes. We need your help so much. Every pledge that comes in this afternoon, as Cynthia told you, will get the Sullivan Ballou copy of that letter. You'll like having that. If you'll charge your pledge this afternoon, we have 2 extra special gifts for you. 1, the Watch 17 watch, and 2, from the National Park Service, the Civil War battlefields pamphlet or brochure. And so, if you are anywhere near one of the battlefields on an upcoming vacation or trip, you'll love to have that. It has some pictures, as I'm going to show you here, and some ideas on how to visit, how to prepare for your visit. A great idea about not using the superhighways to approach the battlefields, but to come up the old roads. I was just reading here, it says many of the old roads are very similar to what they were during the Civil War times, so you'll really get a flavor of it as you approach. That's an extra special gift along with the Channel 17 watch that we'll send you if you charge your pledge in any amount this afternoon. Please go to your telephone now, dial 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Please do that right now. So far, we've been able to avoid using those machines. I think maybe 1 or 2 people may have gotten their call taken that way, but we'll call you right back. Believe me, it's that important to us. I know it might seem a little awkward to you to be talking to someone that way, but we will call you right back because we're just a little short on volunteers, although we're very thankful for the people who are here to take membership pledges this afternoon. But please realize the power that you have when you make that telephone call today. It might seem to you as though you, as a single viewer, don't have much power when it comes to television, but here at Channel 17, that's different from the way it is in other television areas. You really do have an awful lot of power to tell us how you feel, to tell us what kind of programs you're looking for, and to put your dollars behind those feelings so that we, as the broadcasters in your area, can take those dollars and go into the marketplace and find these kind of exceptional television programs for you. You do an awful lot with your membership pledge. You provide not only these programs, but any other programs that you and your family might watch on Channel 17. Maybe you have children or grandchildren who are watching Sesame Street and Barney and Friends, and maybe you watch the McNeil-Lear News Hour and Nova and Nature and all those other terrific programs. Your pledge will support those as well. 21 calls in and 29 away. Think of your pledge as supporting your whole family's viewing for an entire year. It sounds like an awfully good deal to make a membership pledge at the level you choose. Maybe your level is $120 or $10 a month. If it is, you could choose this videotape as your thank you gift, and it's called Touring Civil War Battlefields. We went to an awful lot of trouble to get this for you. It's a terrific video tour of Civil War battlefields, the way they look today and also the way they looked at the time of the war, and that could be yours, about an hour long, and it would make a great companion with that pamphlet that we're sending to charge givers, because that would be a video and a printed tour of the Civil War battlefields. That's a choice at the $120 level or $10 a month. Here is another completely boxed set, a beautiful box set of thank you gifts. These are books, the Bruce Catton books, and you'll see the titles there. I hope you'll be able to see them. Mr. Lincoln's Army. I can't read that
Glory
far.
Road.
Oh, hey, Glory Road, and A Stillness of Appomattox. That can be yours, that beautiful, beautiful box set of books as a thank you gift at the I'm not sure. I cannot
It's
find
at the bottom,
it. Oh,
180,
okay,
isn't it?
sorry about that. At the $180 level, or $15 a month, that might be your choice of a thank you gift. And let us show you one more time the terrific deals on the videotapes and the books, because a lot of people are calling and asking about this. You can have either the complete set of videotapes or Shelby Foote's three-piece masterwork on the Civil War, either one of these for a pledge at the $300 level, or you can have the whole thing, everything that you see right there, for a gift of not $600, but a gift of $500. We know that's a significant pledge, but look what you're receiving in return. Not only are you putting a significant number of dollars into the program service, but you're receiving what would, in any home, I'm sure, be a treasured keepsake of this television event, and something that you'll pass along to younger generations in your family, because that's what Ken and Rick Burns really want us to come away from this whole experience with. The ability to pass on the pain and the majesty of this time in our country's history to others. As generations go on and we become further and further removed from this time in our history, it's very important that we not forget the lessons learned at this time in our country. And if you'd like to keep either one of those as a keepsake, that would be a $300 gift, or both for a $500 gift, and some people are doing that this afternoon. Others are making $45 and $60 pledges. You choose the level that sounds right to you, and then call us and make a membership pledge right now. Paul's going to give me an update here. We are now 26 calls away. Okay, great. We're closing.
No, 26 in.
Oh, 26
24
in.
away.
24 away. We're over the halfway mark, but we're much more than halfway done with our time. So we really need you to make your pledge very quickly now at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Cynthia, we're about 2 minutes away from going back to the program to the first of part 2. The first part, of course, was 2 hours, and the next part is 1 hour, and we'll start that in about 2 minutes. We've got phone answerers, we've got camera people. Hector's over there. Please give us your attention. Give us your 1 minute of phone call so that we've got 2 minutes before we go back to the program. Please dial that number right now. If you got an answering machine a moment ago, as long as you gave your name and telephone number, we'll get right back to you after the program begins. It allows us to keep the break much shorter. Please go to your telephone. You must act on your impulse right now, whether your gift is $25 or $25 a month. Maybe there are families in our viewing area that have $500 or $1,000 gifts for us this afternoon. You know, at the $500 level, you can have all 9 of those videotapes with the 3 Shelby Foote volumes on the Civil War. At the $1,000 level, you can take your pick from our long thank you gift list. We have lots of other thank you gifts we want to show you, including this, the Civil War. This is the companion volume. It's available at the $20 per month level, or $240 total. As you can see, we've got, you got something there to read, it looks like. Lots of photographs as well as text. We have a courtesy to give at people joining us at 2:30, and the Art of William Alexander will be back next week at this time. Is that correct? That's correct. Right. We're having the Civil War in Marathon, and we hope Mr. Alexander will be watching with us this afternoon instead of doing a little painting. But we'll be back with him. This is available. It's a wonderful companion volume available at the $240 gift level. At the $90 gift level, we have this, the Civil War years. All of them, of course, have lots of pictures, indications of the kinds of newspapers we had back then and so on. That's available at the $90 gift level. We're just 19 calls away. Join us at the $60 level. I can't believe, Cynthia,
I know.
We're offering the soundtrack from the Civil War series, the music track, at the $60 level on CD, or just $45 level if you'd like to have that on your audio cassette. We have Visa, MasterCard, and Discover Card. Remember that we have extra gifts for you if you do that. It's time for us to go back to the program. We'll wait for your call. Please don't say no this afternoon. Say yes. We'll tell you how we did when we came back. You're making great things happen on public television if you make the call. If you're already a member, you're terrific. The number will be on your screen just 30 seconds. Take advantage. Thanks.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17, Buffalo, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario.
Major Major corporate funding for the Civil War is provided by General Motors and its Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, GMC truck divisions, and GMAC. General Motors, committed to excellence. Funding is also provided by the National Endowment for the Humanities, which supports scholarship, research, education, and public programs. Also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations, and by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
How poignant to say, to write, I think I could enjoy myself at home better than any place else on earth. Those of us who have not served in war can only know it, I guess, by experiencing it this way. And we all know that quote, those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it. I'm Paul Hartman here with Cynthia Jackman. We are riveted to public television this afternoon, enjoying with you, if enjoying is the term, and in one sense it very much is the term, the Civil War series. We'll be back to the second half of a very bloody affair in just a moment. It is our pleasure this afternoon, not our duty, but our pleasure to welcome new members to Channel 17's funding family. That is, the people who make an annual gift to Channel 17, an annual contribution of money that allows us to go out and when such series as the Civil War are offered to us for sale, and they are just that, we have the funds then in the bank to buy those and get them on the air to you. That's Pledging 101 right there. That's all the basics you probably want to know. Unless we have viewers who are concerned enough about the programs on the air and responsive enough to say, yes, I will make a contribution, we cannot present these programs to you. In a little while, I'll show you why it's so critically important that you join us now as we're suffering from a reduction in support from the state of New York that used to be much more supportive of these non-profit, non-commercial, educational television materials. Please go to your telephone. If you understand this message, be one of the very first of 60 that we need in the next couple of minutes to dial 881-4800 if you're in Buffalo, or dial 1-800-727-1017 if you live anywhere within our viewing area. We need 60 of those 258 pledges. Now, what does that 258 represent? Well, if you're just joining us, you didn't know that at noon today we started needing 400 pledges of support around the Civil War Marathon this afternoon in order to raise a $2,000 challenge at the end of the marathon, or later tonight. That's in two parts. We'll give you an hour off for good behavior at 7 o'clock. You can have a little dinner and then come back to the marathon at 8 o'clock if you'd like, or you can stay with us for great normal public television programming between 7 and 8. But the marathon is in two parts. This afternoon and tonight, we need to make 400 pledges of support, new members of support this afternoon in order to stay on track and bring down that $2,000 challenge grant from present members for the Civil War and like programming in the future. Please be one of those. We've had increasingly good response. We urgently need 60 pledges of support in the next couple of minutes. Let me remind you, if you join us at the $300 level, if you can make a contribution of $300, we have all 10 hours in 9 VHS cassettes for you of the Civil War. This is the entire series on VHS cassette, as you can see here, in 9 video cassettes. I don't believe Channel 17 has ever been able to offer all 9 programs or 10 hours of a series at the $300 level before. That's a marvelous opportunity from our present distributors, and so we can offer that. Right over here, if you join us at the $300 level, another option for you, thank you gift, is the Shelby Foote trilogy, all 3 parts in a boxed set here for you at the $300 level. Or perhaps what you want to do is make a gift of $500 to Channel 17 this afternoon and take both of those. 10 hours on 9 video cassettes of the full series, plus the 3-volume Civil War set from Shelby Foote. 881-4800 is the telephone number in Buffalo, or 1-800-727-1017.
Please give us a call right now. Paul, we've taken a couple of calls, but we are not yet at that goal of 60, and we really need to be there if we're going to make sure that that $2,000 from the Member Challenge Fund will be available to us. As we work throughout this afternoon and into this evening, that job will be done one membership pledge call at a time. And there are a lot of numbers that we'll be sharing with you. We'll be continuing to count down that overall goal. But in a real sense, you don't have to worry about any of those numbers. All you have to worry about is making your single telephone pledge today. Whether it's a $45 or a $60 gift, or maybe one of those higher level gifts for the videotapes or the books, you choose an amount. Once you've done your part, once you've made your call, then you've done everything you can to help us to earn that $2,000 challenge. Then you can go back and enjoy the rest of the program this afternoon and this evening, knowing I've done my part. I hope they'll get there, but I know I've already done my part. So that's what you can do right now with a membership pledge in the amount you choose. I'm going to show you several gifts that are really at more might be for you more modest or affordable pledge levels. If you're thinking about making a gift, and some of the ones that we've shared with you so far are not your cup of tea, how about this? A Pictorial History of the Civil War Years. This is a beautiful softcover book available at the $90 level, and it's set up very much like the television program that we're watching, because there's text surrounding photos, reproductions of printed materials. There's some excerpts of Lincoln's addresses in here as they were originally printed out, and engravings and paintings and so on. All of the kind of historical information that Ken and Rick Burns drew on to formulate their television program is enclosed in this book, and it's a really nice memoir from your pledge for the $90 level, or $7.50 a month. 10 calls in now and 50 away. I'm going to also show you these terrific recordings. The music that was put together for this television series is perhaps one of the most memorable parts of it. Very historic, a lot of it very moving, and certainly very characteristic of America in those times. And you can have the recorded version of the soundtrack from the Civil War either on compact disc for a $60 pledge. Imagine that, $5 a month. And you could take away the compact disc, or you could have the audio cassette for a $45 gift. That's a terrific value. And I'll turn around the compact disc so that you can see all of the different song titles there. They're very small, but the ones that you would imagine would be here are here. Dixie and Shenandoah and the Battle Hymn of the Republic and that beautiful Ashokan Farewell. Lots and lots of music from the series together for you on either a compact disc for a $60 pledge or for a $45 gift on an audio cassette. And if you would charge either one of those gifts or any gift today, you'll receive 2 extra special thank you gifts from us. Our Channel 17 Sport Watch, which you'll want to use to tool around town in. It shows you the time and also shows you the date, and will count up seconds for you. And the extra special charge incentive that we have for you today, the National Park Service booklet on Civil War battlegrounds. And if you're taking an auto trip at any time this summer, or maybe you'll be going down to Florida at some point later in the year, you might want to take time out to stop by one of these places. This booklet will really help you prepare for your visit and get the most out of that experience. But all of these things that we're offering you, compact discs and audio cassettes and booklets and watches and all kinds of things, are just benefits of membership. They're detailed. The crux of the matter is getting you to the telephone right now. We're still standing at 10 people in and 50 away. I don't think that's because anything we have to say is too amazing or surprising. We just need to get you to the phone. Please do that right now at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
I'm scared, Cynthia. I don't know what's going to happen here. We had a wonderful flurry of sport after the last bit of program, and now it's slowed a little bit. We're not going to make that goal tonight if we don't have a real influx of support at this moment. If you're watching, as you are, that's one of those crazy things we say, if you are not yet a member, is what I should be saying, if you're not presently receiving our program guide, or more appropriately, if you've not made any kind of contribution in the past year, I challenge you this afternoon to take that step forward. Remember what I said a while ago about joining the group and really being a full member of a group. And the privileges and responsibilities of that are so much more fun, interesting, rewarding when you're a real participant. That's what public television is like as well. Please make that telephone call right now. One of our terrific volunteers this afternoon from Amherst Youth Engaged in Service, or from the West Seneca East government class, will be answering your phone. They're terrific young folks this afternoon. They'll take 1 minute to take your name, address, telephone number, the amount that you want to pledge. That's entirely up to you. How you want to pay it, that's entirely up to you. We encourage you to bring a charge card to the phone so you get those 2 thank you gifts. Or you can pay by monthly installments. We have installment plan where we'll send you the monthly program guide, and the monthly envelope pre-addressed, and a computerized statement of your account. Or you can just send a single check or money order. Please go to the telephone, 881-4800 in Buffalo, or 1-800-727-1017. All pledgers this afternoon are also receiving, in addition to any other thank you gift you're eligible for, are receiving a copy of the Sullivan Ballou letter. That is, Major Sullivan Ballou wrote on July 14th. This is not a copy of his handwriting, but in the style of that day, he writes, "My very dear Sarah, the indications are very strong that we shall move in a few days, perhaps tomorrow, lest I should not be able to write again. I feel impelled to write a few lines." And it goes on. It is an extremely moving document, a letter to his dear Sarah. "Sarah, do not mourn me dead," he ends. "Think I am gone and wait for thee, for we shall meet again." Sullivan Ballou. If you don't have goose flesh all up and down your arms when you read that, when you heard that half an hour ago during part of the program, you're not paying attention, I don't think, because that's a very, very moving thing, at least for me. Camp Clark, Washington. We will send a copy of that to every single pledger at any level this afternoon. But we can't do it if we don't have your name and address. Come on now. You've been thinking about doing it for Channel 17 for years and years, I'll bet. You've always found one reason or another to say no. Everybody's budget's tight. If that's your reason, is you think your family budget's tighter than anybody else's, I encourage you to think what would happen to Channel 17 and great series like Civil War if everybody said that. Can you afford $5 this month? $5 for something precious? Then I'll bet you can next month. $5 a month comes to a $60 annual gift. It's only 17 cents a day for excellence on television. 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017. Are we almost, we have 12 calls in. I think we ought to take one quick minute,
okay,
don't you?
Good idea.
881-4800, 1-800-727-1017.
We can really, you almost have a sense, maybe it's unfamiliar to you, but we have a sense here in the studio when things are beginning to pick up, and we hate to miss any of those telephone calls. In this final minute, may we hear from you right now in response to our message to you, and that is that we want to make more moments like this possible on Channel 17. We really and truly do. This was a defining moment for public television when we were able to present this program, when Ken Burns actually sought out public broadcasting as the avenue, as the delivery vehicle for this program, and we're awfully proud to be presenting it for you again today. There's no such thing as watching it too many times. Maybe you've not had the opportunity to sit down and watch it before in its entirety. It's an absolutely wonderful experience. It's probably the equivalent of a college-level course that you'd take for a whole semester or two if you were really going to sit down and study the Civil War. What is that resource available to you? What is having that resource available to you worth in terms of a membership pledge? Now we're 24 calls away and 24 calls in and 36 away. Let me show you quickly the companion volume,
if somebody
the
gets an
hardcover
answering
book.
machine?
They'll leave their message and their telephone number and area code, I hope, so we can call them right back. If your pledge is $240 or $20 a month, you can have the companion volume, The Civil War, the book by Ken and Rick, with help from Ken and Rick Burns and another author. They put together that, and that's available to you for a $20 a month pledge. Other thank you gifts are available. How about this video tour of the Civil War battlefields, an hour-long video program showing you what they looked like during battle and what they look like today. That's available for a $120 pledge. We'll send you the entire list of thank you gifts. It might be confusing to try and make up your mind, but we won't ask you what your thank you gift selection is on the telephone. We're asking you please to just get to that telephone in response to this message, to go to your phone and say, yes, I believe in what you're doing. I want to make sure that the next time someone like Ken Burns, or maybe Ken Burns himself, comes to public television with another idea for a piece of historic television, that the resources are there to provide that, to make sure it happens, and to make sure I see it on Channel 17 here in Western New York and Southern Ontario. Paul's going to take us home. We're 29 in and 31 away. You can make it happen right now at 881-4800, 1-800-727-1017.
That's very true. We're taking one more minute. We're stealing one more minute from the program. Not that you'll miss anything. We're holding that videotape for one more minute is what I mean to say. Because it has begun to come alive. Dear friend, understand that your telephone call puts a volunteer to work. They're terrific young folks, as you saw a little while ago. They're dedicating an hour, an afternoon of their lives this afternoon to public television. We're not asking you for something as difficult to give as time these days. Except for 1 minute to make that pledge call, all we're asking for is a little money, and that will protect your investment in public television. Be a member, be a friend, be a person who responds and gives to something that gives back to you and your children and your grandchildren. If we won't, as a community in the Western New York and Southern Ontario region, if we won't give to the Civil War to make sure that the next time a Civil War program comes in and Channel 17 has to decide, as we will, whether or not to buy it, I don't know what in the world we will pledge for. Will you dial 881-4800 if you're in Buffalo? 1-800-727-1017 wherever you are. Almost every line is busy right now, but there are a couple available. We're 27 calls away from goal. We need to get that number below the $200 pledge level, I should say, in order to stay on track with this. When we finish now and go back to the program in 1 minute, we will be halfway through our pledge opportunities for this afternoon. We have to be halfway through that goal of 400 pledges in order to raise that $2,000 tonight. If you join us at the $180 level, one of the thank you gifts you'll find on your thank you gift list that we'll be mailing to you is Bruce Catton's magnificent trilogy, the 3-volume set. This is Mr. Lincoln's Army, Glory Road, and A Stillness at Appomattox. It is a boxed set. They are the paperback editions, but you'll enjoy going through those. We're 23 calls away. Very briefly, let me remind you about the deal of the afternoon. I can't believe our distributors were able to give us the kind of deal that would allow us to pass this on to you, but it's happened. They have negotiated PBS video copies of the 9-part series. All 10 hours of these video cassettes are available to you if you join us at the $300 gift level. Can you imagine getting 9 cassettes? 9 cassettes with the entire Civil War series on it for your gift of $300. You can pay that at $25 a month if you want, or you can put it on your charge card and get the sports watch and the Civil War Battlefield guide we'll be sending to you. All pledgers get the Sullivan Ballou letter. Or you could ask for, at the $300 gift level, all 3 volumes of Shelby Foote's Civil War series. Or if you can just increase your gift a little bit from $300 level to $500 level, we'll send you all 9 cassettes and the 3-volume set. Well, there are lines available. I'm sorry, there is a line available. Please dial it now. As we go into the program, we'll leave the phone number up just 30 seconds. When we come back, can I tell the people that you have joined us? Or is it once again going to be somebody else who has done the job that will protect your investment in great public television programming for the next year? I hope not. I hope you're going to take action. If you're already a member, you're a terrific soul. Thank you, and welcome. Welcome.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17, Buffalo, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario.
Don't go away. We'll be back to the program in just a few minutes. In fact, this will probably be the shortest opportunity we have all afternoon long. I'm Cynthia Jackman. Paul Hartman, of course, is with me, and we're watching the program along with you. We have some pretty good news to report to you, but a big job to do in the next very few minutes. As you probably know by now, I hope, we're working on a big goal this afternoon around our presentation of the Civil War, and when we're successful, and we're going to say when and not if, because we really feel very positive about it today, that we're going to earn a $2,000 challenge if we can reach our overall goal. Now let me show you how we're doing on that goal. We started out this morning, actually early this afternoon around noontime, looking for a total of 400 new members for Channel 17 just around this afternoon and early evening of the Civil War. They'll have a separate goal later on this evening, so that's the number that we need to reach by 7 o'clock tonight. The good news is we came almost to the halfway mark on that last opportunity. We're now 218 calls away from the overall goal. We need to take at least 40 of those membership pledges right now in the next very few minutes, and we promise that we will try to do that as quickly as we can. 1 call is in right now, and we're 39 pledge calls away. I know that you are probably sitting back and sort of letting the program wash over you. It really is a very engaging and emotional type of television to be watching, and it might seem as though it's going to break your mood a little bit to step forward and go to the telephone, but we're going to ask you to do that anyway, because membership pledges are the thing that keeps programs like this going on public television. So other people have called and made pledges enabling us to come this far and present the program for you today. We hope that you'll join that very nice group of people by becoming a new member around the Civil War today. I can't think of a better day or a better program around which to pledge than this spectacular television event. Please get to your phone right now and make your membership pledge. I want to show you right away, again, the terrific, unbelievable deal we have going here in terms of thank you gifts at the $300 level. The first set that we'll show you is the Civil War, the complete series on videotape, professionally done, in the professional slipcases with liner notes and etc. 10 hours of television and all. That's for a gift at the $300 level. A different choice at that $300 level is this set of 3 books, the absolutely very lengthy and detailed History of the Civil War by Shelby Foote, his masterwork. 3 volumes there, and that's a different choice at the $300 level. But if you can't make up your mind between the two, there's a special deal going there, too. You can have everything that you see right there, all 3 of the books in their very nice slipcase, and the 10 hours of television on videotape together for a membership pledge at the $500 level. That might sound like we're starting off with something extraordinary, and we are, and we know that's not for everyone. But lots of folks have called and done that today, because what you're getting in return for making a very significant investment, and we know that, in public television on your part, is not only the good feeling of knowing your dollars are put to work for these kinds of programs, but that you're receiving something really astounding in return in terms of a valuable gift that you can pass on to people in your family, share it with others you know. We've taken 3 calls now. Great, we're 37 away, but we need to move very quickly right now. Please get to your phone and call us at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Boy, I'm really scared. We want to make this very short membership opportunity so we can get back to the series. But, you know, you really have it in your hands to dictate to us whether they're short breaks or long breaks. If you'll decide quickly to move to a telephone as we take a membership opportunity, we can make these very short breaks. If it takes you a long time to decide to do that, well, the important thing, of course, in the long view is for us to make that decision to extend the break a little bit right now. If we don't extend it right now, we simply won't have the funds later to have programs on the air for you. You understand all that, I'm sure. Please make that telephone call right now. We have wonderful volunteers this afternoon from Amherst Youth Engaged in Service. Mouth is not engaged in service here. Amherst Youth Engaged in Service, terrific folks, and West Seneca East government class, and at least one ECC student up there talked to. They're waiting to take your telephone call right now. It'll take you just 1 minute. They'll ask your name, address, telephone number, the amount that you want to pledge, entirely up to you. We've had gifts all the way. We've had $20 or $25 gifts all the way up to $500 gifts this afternoon. So thank you for your support. Don't worry about it being too small. Certainly don't worry about it being too large. Make a phone call so we can stay on track and bring down that $2,000 challenge tonight for great programs like this. Next time, Channel 17 has an option to buy great series. You don't want us to say no. You want us to say yes. And here's why we're struggling so. You need to understand, 3 years ago, the state of New York made a contribution each year, made a grant in support of the instructional, educational, cultural, non-profit, non-commercial service. Those are all terms that describe our excellence on television on Channel 17. They made a contribution totaling $3,406,000. Next year, if the budget cuts as proposed are enacted, that'll be down to $1,639,000. There's almost $1,800,000 difference, and that's program money. How do we take care of that? The simple answer is if the state of New York has to decrease its support the way it has, and looks like it's going to, then the viewer has to increase. Again, the very clear way to say it is, if New York State has to decrease its support that way, then viewers, the users of the service, must increase our support that way. Won't you go to the telephone? Please say yes. If you've never been a member before, join the family of Channel 17 supporters. It feels so good. The programs look even better if you're watching as a member. Join us at the $180 gift level, and lots of options are yours, or $60 or $90 or $120. We'll send you a full list of our thank you gifts, and you may select from that. If you join us at the 180 level, I began to say, one of the options you'll see there is this. It's Bruce Catton's 3-volume set in a boxed set, the paperback editions here, the boxed set of Mr. Lincoln's Army, Glory Road, and A Stillness at Appomattox. Bruce Catton being among the most premier of the Civil War historians, of course. That's available at the $15 per month level, or if you have just $60 for Channel 17, it will help so much. You can pay that at $5 a month if you want. We have the Civil War soundtrack from the series, the music recordings from the series available you at the $60 gift level if you'd like that, or at the $45 gift level, a real affordable membership for families maybe. We have that same soundtrack on audio cassette. And remember, if you use your charge card, Visa, MasterCard, Discover Card, any of those, we have two very special gifts we're sending to all such pledgers who use their charge cards this afternoon. One is the Channel 17 Sport Watch, the casual watch that you'll see in a moment. And secondly, we also have the Civil War Battlefield Visiting Guide that comes out from the National Parks and Conservation Association. And of course, every single pledger this afternoon gets the Sullivan Ballou letter. Come on now, dear friend. Dial the number. We're not to the number we need. We need you now. 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017.
Please get to the telephone right now. I know that there's a lot of information that we're passing along to you. We have so many things to show, so many things to tell you about. But all of your questions, anything that's in your mind that you're thinking about that you really need clarified can be taken care of on the telephone. That's the easiest way for us to take care of it for you, is to have you move to your telephone right now very quickly and make a membership pledge at one of the levels on one of the numbers on your screen. For a membership pledge at absolutely any level, we want to show you our reproduction of the Sullivan Ballou letter one more time. This is coming out to everyone, absolutely everyone who pledges today. So if you've been thinking about making a more modest level gift and you thought it wouldn't count or you wouldn't receive anything as a thank you, yes, you will. You'll receive your very own copy of this beautiful, beautiful, emotional letter from Major Sullivan Ballou. He wrote this letter to his wife, Sarah, 7 days before he was killed at the First Battle of Bull Run, and it's very moving, it's prophetic, it's profound. And if you had a chance to hear it read earlier in the program and you'd like to have it as a memento of the day you became a member, all you have to do is get to your telephone right now and make a membership pledge at any level, and that's coming out to everyone who pledges today. Another terrific way we have of saying thank you to you when you call and make a membership pledge. We'll show you quickly a couple more of our terrific thank you gifts. We have very little time left now. 14 calls are in. We're 26 away. If you can join us at the level of $120 or $10 a month, we have a brand new videotape to show you. We went to an awful lot of trouble to dig this up because it was very highly recommended to us. And it's a video tour of Civil War battlefields. It's about an hour long. And there's a very moving picture there on the front, and on the back there are pictures of many of the battlefields. This is a terrific video tour of this experience in American history, and that could be yours for a pledge at the $120 level or $10 a month. Now we've got just 24 calls away right now, but we are very, very close to the end of our time. We really need to get you to the telephone quickly. Let's show you one more time our volunteers, if we could see those who are busy, those who are not busy on the telephone right now taking membership pledges. Great, great people here from the Amherst Youth Engaged in Service, West Seneca East Government class, and we have lots and lots of people there, but not too many on telephones taking membership pledges. Paul's going to give me a real quick update. We must go on. We're 17 calls in and 23 away. We're going to leave the telephone numbers there for just a half a minute or so. Please write it down right away and then go to your telephone and quickly make your pledge so that we can continue working on this goal and this $2,000 challenge. With your help, I know that we can get there. Television moments like the one we're enjoying now don't have to be rare. They can be something that's an everyday thing here at Channel 17, but only if membership support makes them possible. Please call now at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017, and thank you.
And thank you. Absolutely wonderful. The Civil War, the series, gets better and better. And there's plenty more. We're going until 7 o'clock tonight, and then the marathon will continue at 8 o'clock tonight, and then again tomorrow afternoon. I'm Paul Hartman here with Cynthia Jackman in the membership studio at Channel 17 with some wonderful volunteers you'll see in a minute. I have to ask you to stay very closely attuned to the next couple of minutes because this is there's a bit of high drama going on. We want you in the studio as well as during the series, of course. We want you to understand the facts of our financial life, and we'll start by showing you our goal board. But first, if you were with us since noon today, you know that in order to stay on track for a $2,000 challenge grant at the end of the evening tonight, at the end of most of the marathon for the Civil War, we have to raise 400 pledges of support from brand new members of Channel 17. We've had 6 membership opportunities. We have this one and 3 additional. Look where we are right now. We're just barely on track, or close to on track. We need 187 pledges in 4 membership opportunities. Cynthia, wouldn't it be absolutely astounding? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could take all 187 in this membership opportunity, or in 2? You would not see us then afterwards. We'll give you those back if we can just do this business quickly. But we really do have to take 187 pledges of support in the next, during this time before 7 o'clock, or we'll be off track for the $2,000 challenge. Worse than that, we simply won't have the cash in the bank or the pledges of support in order to buy great programs like the Civil War this coming year. As soon as this drive is over, a week from the last Thursday, our program people have to sit down and they look at the pledge support and they say, what can we afford to buy for the coming year? What series will not get funded if the pledge drive is not up to expected levels? What can we buy for the people if it is? Let's look positively. And I'm just positive that somebody like you who's spending a Saturday afternoon with the Civil War has the good sense to know it only happens on public TV if viewers are responsive. We have 2 pledgers on the line toward the 50 that we need in this membership opportunity. Don't worry about the other 48. Just worry about you. Please go to the telephone. Does your pledge have to be at the $500 level or $300 level? No, it doesn't. Although I'm going to show you what's yours as a thank you gift from us if you join us at those levels. Does it have to be at the $25 or $35 level? No, it doesn't. It can be less than that even. Does it have to be at some level to count toward our challenge? It sure does. At some level, it has to come in. I hope you can make it for at least $35 so we can send you the monthly program guide. So you'll never miss these series. Come through for us. We need 50 pledges of support. We're trying to make this break very, very short. Please act quickly. 881-4800 in Buffalo, or 1-800-727-1017. If you join us at the $300 level, you'll find on the thank you gift list that we're going to send out to you either of these 2 things. The Civil War, the 3-volume set from Shelby Foote. It is a boxed set, paperback volumes, but such great information in there. That's the Shelby Foote trilogy at the $300 level. Or you may have all 9 of these video cassettes of the Civil War. Total of 10 hours. Part 1 was 2 hours long. We're in part 2 or 3. We're into 3 by now. And we'd like to send all 9 of those video cassettes, all 10 hours, that is, of the Civil War series on VHS cassette if you'd like to join us at the $300 level and you ask for that. A very special arrangement that we have with our distributor that brought the wholesale price to us down to the level low enough that we could be able to do that. Or the deal of the afternoon is you don't have to make a gift of 300 plus 300 of 600 in order to have both of those. You can have both of those, all of this, for a gift of $500 if that's your choice. At some level, please go to your telephone right now. Dial 881-4800 if you're in Buffalo, or 1-800-727-1017.
Please do that right now. We've got a great group of volunteers here this afternoon, a small number of people, but they're doing a good job for us. We want to take a look at them so you can see who will be taking your telephone call when you make a membership pledge. Some people from the Amherst Youth Engaged in Service Group and West Seneca East Government class. And we're minus a host today, or a hostess, but we're doing okay without that anyway. These are some fresh-faced young people who are here today to take your membership pledge. And we need to keep them busy 2 or 3 times over in this opportunity alone if we're going to meet that goal of 50 calls right now. And our time is very, very limited. We really cannot afford in any way to take too much time here because we need to stay on track with the program and with the timings this afternoon so that we can be right on track for that $2,000 challenge. So it's really important that you step to your telephone right now and make your membership pledge. We're so close to success right now. I know we'll get there if you'll call and make your pledge. Maybe you'd like to have the companion hardcover book from the series. And if that's your choice, you can make a pledge at the $240 level or $20 a month. And I'll tell you, you won't be sorry, because that investment will bring you lots and lots of public television. It will also bring you this tremendous book, which really goes right along with the television series and explains to you all of the history surrounding what was culled out of, actually, the information in this book became the television series, and all of those very moving photographs and engravings, wonderful historic moments from the war. There's a map there and so on. A beautiful, beautiful book. What a wonderful remembrance of your membership pledge to Channel 17 for a pledge at the $20 per month level or $240. 8 calls in now and 42 away. Let us show you the 2 extra special thank you gifts that we're sending to everyone who charges a membership pledge. Our Channel 17 Sport Watch, which is coming to everyone who makes a charge pledge during this festival membership campaign, and that's real cute, a real handy little item to have. We'll send that along to you just for using your credit card. But today, during the Civil War Marathon, we're offering something extra, even in addition to that. Our Civil War Guide to the Battlefield has been put out by the National Park Service, and that is a really handy guide showing you how to take you and maybe your family to visit one of these battlefields and get the most out of that experience. We'll send both of those things to you when you call and put your pledge on a credit card this afternoon. So take advantage of that opportunity. Also, 2 items that are at really, really affordable pledge levels, unbelievably so. The music from the Civil War, which you've been able to hear some samples of already during this afternoon's presentation. You can have it on compact disc for a pledge. Maybe you thought it would be at $120, but it's not. It's at the $60 level, $5 a month. You can take away that on compact disc, or you can have the audio cassette if that's your preferred format for a pledge at the $45 level. Imagine that. Make a $45 gift and put it on a credit card today, and you could have the tape, you could have your subscription to our program guide for the next year, 2 extra thank you gifts for charging it, and the Sullivan Ballou letter, which we'll show you in just a moment, which is coming to everyone who pledges. There's a lot here for you to take away in terms of membership benefits, but you need to make the telephone call to get things started. We're still standing at 8 calls in and 42 away with very, very limited time here this afternoon. Understand that you help so much when you make your one telephone call. You're the one who can make your call. Once you've done that, you've done everything you need to do to help us out this afternoon. But $2,000 is absolutely too much for us to turn away here at Channel 17. 10 calls in and 40 away now. We must have your pledge this afternoon at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
With just a couple of minutes left, what can we say to the last few viewers who we need in this opportunity? I think one of the things that we should be saying is we're not asking for a total of 50 pledges during this membership opportunity. We're asking every single viewer of public television during the Festival 93 to make a contribution of some kind. We're not asking for 1/10 of the people who watch or 1/15th or 1/20th of the number of people who watch. We're asking for every viewer of public television, whether you watch a half an hour a month or 2 hours every night. It doesn't matter. You're a regular viewer of public television, and only if we have a responsive viewership to public television, people who will make a contribution in some amount, can we keep these great programs coming. Come on now. I know you're going to do the right thing. I know you're going to help us end this afternoon on a very high, successful note. And you'll be watching the rest of the Civil War series and the next 365 days as a member. We are sending to every single pledger of any amount this afternoon the Sullivan Ballou letter. It is just a wonderful, wonderful copy in calligraphy of the letter that Major Sullivan Ballou wrote to his wife, Sarah, 7 days before he lost his life at the First Battle of Bull Run. It's dated July 14th, 1861. And the last words, of course, are, Sarah, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone, and wait for thee, for we shall meet again. It continues from start to finish to be a most moving letter, has been widely quoted. You heard it in part 1, and will be quoted again during the series. It is a most human letter out of the Civil War, and we'd love to send that to every single pledger. 14 are in now with 36 to go. With about 30 seconds, let me give you the 30-second state funding picture here very quickly. Let me show you a long shot that tells you the story of state funding. New York state funding is up here in the red. 3 years ago, our state funding looked like this graph. Next year, if the state budget is passed as proposed right now, we'll be down this far. That's almost $1,800,000 difference that won't be there for us to to buy programs for you. If we can make it even clearer, if New York State funding goes like that for public television, then viewer support has to go like that, or we simply can't continue to offer excellence on television. My friend, please say yes. If the Civil War series won't move us to action, if we can't give $25 or $35, let alone $300 or $500 or some amount for excellence that is the Civil War series, I don't know what future public television has. Go to your telephone now. In Buffalo, that number is 881-4800. Elsewhere, 1-800-727-1017.
Phones are beginning to ring now, Paul, but we have less than 2 minutes to go, and we absolutely have to stay on track this afternoon. This is an important moment for you as a public television viewer. You're spending some time with us, and we don't take that lightly. We understand that that represents something that you've done with some considerable thought, deciding to sit down and carve out some time to watch this program today. I hope you'll realize that it follows along, makes an awful lot of sense when you've invested that time in watching something on public television, that you make an investment of dollars so that you can guarantee for yourself that you'll always have the opportunity to make that choice in the future. If you want to sit down and watch something of terrific quality like you're watching right now, you can't even think of enough adjectives to describe what it is that we're watching. It really is more than television. It's more than a film. It's an experience. It's something that reaches out and grabs you right through the television and enables you to experience the moments that so many Americans did and gave their lives for during this conflict. Now, you might get an answering machine when you call, Paul is telling me, and if that's the case, we'll have a very nice message there from you, I hope, with your name, your telephone number, and your area code so we can call you right back. Just a little bit short on phone volunteers this afternoon, but there's no shortage of work on our part that we're willing to do to get you to the telephone. Quickly, let me show you one more time the volunteers who are working on your behalf today. If you haven't called them, pick up the telephone now and get one of those telephones ringing. There's an open line right there. Very nice young lady willing to take your call. And the gentleman beside her, she's taking the call now. But not everyone is busy. We're going to go on to the program in just a few seconds, but we're going to leave the telephone number there. Okay, we're going to take 1 more minute right now. We just absolutely need to because people are trying to get through and make membership pledges. And we're just 13 calls away. 13 away from goal. We can really do it right now for you. Let me quickly show you 2 more thank you gifts so you have an idea of what's available. The first is this terrific videotape that we spent an awful lot of time unearthing for you, and I'm sure you'll love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful videotape touring the Civil War battlefields. That could be yours for a $120 gift or $10 a month. And Paul is going to hand me the other videotapes so that I can very quickly show you that you can have the complete set of Civil War tapes. They're all stacked in front of me here. All 10 hours of this magnificent, magnificent television event on videotape for you for a membership pledge at the $300 level or $25 a month. We would strongly encourage you to put that on your credit card this afternoon because that's a real easy way to make your membership pledge, and we could send you 2 extra thank you gifts just for doing that. We're struggling to get a new count here. We're just a few seconds away now from going on to the program, and we are just now 7 calls away. Seven calls away. We absolutely have to do it right now. I'm going to throw it to Paul for a quick update for you. The numbers are there on your screen. Please do it today in Western New York and Southern Ontario. I know we can do it. If you'll call 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Let's take just one final minute. Remember, folks, what we're doing this for. We're protecting your public television series and programs for the next 365 days. If you're not yet a member, take this opportunity. When I meet people on the street and they say, oh, Channel 17, I say, that's right, what do you watch? And they tell me, and occasionally when they're really nice and I'm feeling really brave, I'll say, so you're a member, are you? And a lot of them will say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to do that one of these days. And so I kid them, and we don't have a bad time. But I want to say to them, we make it just as simple as possible. You're about 6 or 8 steps away from your telephone, right? Something like that. Maybe 10 steps away. It couldn't be easier. You don't have to pay a long-distance charge. You don't have to pay any charge. Unless you're on a per-call basis, it might cost you 1 dime. What can we do to move you to a telephone this afternoon? We're so close. We're now 5 calls away from the goal for this membership opportunity. And Cynthia and I told you, if we could take all 187 of them in this break and or the next one, be happy to give you the last 2 hours or whatever it would turn out to be without a membership opportunity. That's our deal for you this afternoon, but we have to move forward very quickly. We have to have the pledge support in order to buy the series that we need next year. You saw what's happening with State of... Lower your voice, Paul. You've seen what's happening. I get so excited. Because it's so critically important. You understand that whole matter. Unless we have the funds, it's just like your household. Unless the boss pays your paycheck every week, you can't afford the things that you know you really want and need for those children and for the whole family. Unless there's a house over you and clothes for you and food for you, you can't really live a good and satisfying life. And that's what's happening with public television. You're buying the money, you're putting the money into our bank account in order to pay for these series. We've got to go back to the program right now. We'll leave that number up for 30 seconds. If you'll dial it now and 186 more or whatever the number is, we can finish the job. And we can do it off the air with no pledge right. Do the right thing. Go to the telephone. Those of you who have joined, I swear you're going to love public television programs even more for the next year. And those who haven't quite done it yet, we urgently want to send you I can't find a program guide. We want to send one to you every month for the next year. $35 a year, a dime a day. That's the level at which we can send you the program guide. I hope you can afford maybe a 300 or a 500 or a 600 or 1,000. Maybe you can afford a 60 or a 90, 120. It doesn't matter the amount. What matters is we make that challenge grant and we get you into the family. 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017. If you've already called, you're terrific. Thanks.
You're watching member-supported WNED TV, Channel 17, Buffalo, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario.
You can't hear that, let alone any of the rest of this series, without just thinking how magnificently sound and video are put together in the Civil War series. There's more to come. More to come this afternoon. We'll break between 7 and 8. Come back tonight for a couple more episodes starting at 8 o'clock, and then tomorrow finishing it off in marathon, the Civil War in marathon. My name's Paul Hartman, here with my friend Cynthia Jackman. We're doing the last couple of opportunities. We really would like, there are 3 scheduled, we'd like not to do that second and third one if possible. Here's the situation. You and we, dear friends, at noon o'clock today, started by needing 400 pledges of support from brand new members of Channel 17 in order to get on the way toward tonight's challenge of $2,000. The afternoon and the evening have to go to work together to work on that. Our assignment was 400 pledges of support this afternoon in order to stay on track. Look how far we are. We're only 103 pledges of support away from that, and there are now 2, 4, 5 pledges in right now. We're 98 pledges away from completing the business that we've been assigned to do this afternoon. The assignment, of course, is basically to raise enough money so that we can continue to buy excellence in television for you for the next 365 days and nights. Won't you do the right thing? If you've been thinking about it and you've come up with excuse after excuse after excuse, I know they're good excuses, but let's say to ourselves this afternoon, enough. Enough of those excuses. Hartman, Jackman, I'm with you. I want to join the families who make Channel 17 possible. Will you do that? There are lines available right now, and there may not be later. You may need to talk to an answering machine. If that happens, please leave your name and your telephone number with your area code to make sure we can call you right back. That'll allow us to keep the membership break as short as possible so that we can go right back to programming here in the next few minutes. Do the right thing. If your gift is $60 or $90 or $120, those are the most frequently pledged amounts here at Channel 17, but they don't have to be your amount. If that's too much for you, $25 or $35 will help us toward this goal. If you can afford to stretch to a $300 gift, as quite a number of people have this afternoon, do you know what we have in store for you? We have all 9 of the videotapes shown here. All 9 of the VHS cassettes of the Civil War, professionally duplicated. All 10 hours. The first one is a 2-hour tape. All 10 hours coming to you and your video library. Do you have $300, that much room on one of your Visa or MasterCard, Discover cards? Why don't you do the right thing for public television this afternoon after you've enjoyed the Civil War? Time and time again. Do you know what you could do? You could contribute your set of Civil War tapes to a school or a library, a public library. Whatever you decide to do, whether it's the $300 gift level and take away all 9 of these tapes, or it's a one-time gift of $25 or $35. I hope you can afford $35, by the way. That $35 gift level is the level at which we can start to send you the program guide each month. We have a wonderful program guide, and you'll love to see it. 12 issues over the next year. Whatever your level is, go to the telephone right now so we can finish this business and maybe not do the last one or two breaks. It's in your hands, friends. 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017.
If we can get things going very, very quickly right now, we'll have the opportunity to do that, maybe, and be able to eliminate the final break that was scheduled, and that would be great. That would mean you'll be able to enjoy the final part of the program, and there wouldn't be a membership opportunity following it just close to 7 o'clock. But that all depends on what we're able to do right now. We're so close to reaching that goal, just a little bit fewer than 100 pledges away from meeting that goal and turning things over to the evening crew. They'll be in to relieve us shortly, right on track for that $2,000 challenge. And that's awfully inspiring. It really is, to think that we could do that this afternoon on a day when maybe there are people doing all kinds of other things in Western New York and Southern Ontario. To think that we could take that number of calls and earn those challenge dollars is really incredible. 7 people have called, and we're 96 calls away right now. You'll be able to say you participated in something extraordinary when you call and make your membership pledge right now and help us stay on track, but we need to move along very, very quickly. So please make your pledge call as fast as you can. Let me show you again the recorded music from the Civil War, which is available on compact disc or on audio cassette. And they're at really incredible pledge levels. The audio cassette is available for a pledge of just $45 to Channel 17. Imagine that, a $45 gift. You could take the audio cassette away and our program guide and a couple of other gifts if you charge it, but more about that in a minute. The compact disc is available for a pledge of just $5 a month. A $60 membership in Channel 17 for the year will bring you that compact disc if that's your choice of a thank you gift. And remember, we'll send the entire list of all of these gifts to you in the mail. You don't have to make a selection over the telephone. You just need to pick a pledge level, and you can choose your gift later on. Let me show you now the extra items that are available when you charge your membership pledge. And as Paul said, if you've got enough room on your credit card, you might want to do it that way. It's very, very easy to become a member that way. Our Channel 17 Sport Watch can come to you, as can our beautiful pamphlet put out by the National Park Service about visiting Civil War battlefields. And if you and your family are thinking about a car trip this summer, or maybe even a trip very soon to drive down to Florida or something, and you'd like to stop at one of these historic places on the way, you'll want to have this guide with you, because it really does prepare you for the emotion of visiting one of these sites and how to best take away the very best experience from it for you and your family. Those 2 gifts are coming to everyone who charges a membership pledge during the Civil War Marathon, no matter what the amount of that pledge. So that's something extra we'll send you. Okay, we're 14 calls in and 89 away right now. Let's see how quickly we can do it. Let me show you again the 2 terrific deals at the $300 level. Paul showed you the tapes. Let's show you them one more time. A terrific value for that gift of $300 or $25 a month. The complete set of videotapes, all 10 hours of the Civil War, could be yours. Pay it all at once with a check, pay it monthly at $25 a month, or the easiest way yet, put it all at once on one of those credit cards that you see there on the screen. All 9 tapes, all 10 hours of the Civil War together for a $300 pledge. That's an extraordinary value that we've been able to put together for you. Standing next to the tapes is a different selection, a different choice at the $300 level. It's Shelby Foote's 3-volume trilogy on the Civil War, his masterwork that he spent, I think, more than a decade putting together. Those could be yours for $300. But if you can't choose between the 2, there's an even better deal for both of them. All of the videotapes and all of the books together, that can come your way as an extraordinary thank you gift at the $500 pledge level. Not for everyone, not for every family, but it might be something you consider, because the appeal of this work, this particular work on television, is extraordinary. And you might want to pass it down historically to your family via the tapes and the books. That's your option when you call. Paul's doing a new count for me. I'm going to show you one more thank you gift at the $90 level. This might be your level. Maybe that sounds better for you. $7.50 a month or $90 altogether. A beautiful pictorial history of the Civil War years. And I'm going to open to a page here that shows a reproduction of the Emancipation Proclamation. We just heard about that. And the extraordinary tide of emotion that swept across the country when that was proclaimed by President Lincoln. And there's a lot more in this book. Photographs, engravings, text, and a lot more. That available to you for a $90 pledge or $7.50 a month. New counts in, 15 calls and 88 away. I'm afraid that time is going by much too quickly here. We really need to get a run on the telephone bank and have you make your membership pledge. You'll be one of the final 100 people that we need to earn this challenge, and we can do it just as quickly as you will allow us to. It's up to you. Give us a call right now, please, at 881-4800 or 1-800-727-1017.
Please call now. We're trying to make this break very quick, and we want to do that. We want to get back to programming. There's a little high drama in the studio as we're attempting to cross the finish line far earlier than expected. You're the beneficiary because then we'll have the funds in necessary to buy programs. If the rest of the pledge drive continues to perform as it needs to, and we hope it will, but also you'll be the beneficiary because we'll be able to watch the remainder of the program all without membership opportunities. Will you go to the telephone right now? We have wonderful volunteers standing by to take your pledge call when you dial 881-4800 in Buffalo or 1-800-727-1017 elsewhere. We need you to be talking to young folks from Amherst, youth engaged in service, or from West Seneca East government class. All of them out this afternoon to give an afternoon of their lives for public television. We're not asking you to contribute time. That's much more difficult for most of us to contribute than it is money. Hi, Mom. Can you wave to hi, Mom? All we're asking for is a little cash from your bank account or your charge account to us so that we can continue to provide your needs and interests on public television for the next 365 days and nights. We have a magic carpet here, folks, in the Western New York, Southern Ontario region. We have a magic carpet that we can put ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren, our neighbors, and our friends onto. Whenever we click that little Channel 17 dial, we get onto that magic carpet, and it flies us away to different areas of the world, to different times throughout history, as we're doing this afternoon, as we're going back to see the Civil War. The way Ken Burns and his production company have handled those still photographs, you'd swear it is motion pictures. It is astounding. Well, after seeing the first one, I mentioned how I was astounded at how they got some of the moving pictures inside, and somebody said there are no moving pictures inside. I saw one now in Arizona, obviously taken recently. I said there had to be. No, it's beautifully handled still photographs. That's good production, high production values. We have lines available right now, but may not in a minute. If you call, please dial right now, 881-4800, 1-800-727-1017. We're striving so hard